I really wanted to speak about gratitude and how that can help your mental and physical well being and healing. So, when we think about gratitude, it really is an act of being thankful and appreciative, right? So, it can significantly promote healing both physically and emotionally. And I want to give you 5 reasons. Number one, it enhances psychological health, right? So, gratitude effectively increases your mental strength and your resilience. It reduces feelings of stress and anxiety, which are known to impede healing and worsen mental health conditions. And then by focusing on the positive aspects and expressing thankfulness, individuals can cultivate a more optimistic outlook. This can really aid in emotional recovery and resilience. And I think focusing on these things, especially during the time of the year that might be difficult if you've lost someone, really thinking about the moments that you're grateful for can help kind of with the struggles that we might see during this time. Number two, it improves physical health. So, studies have shown that people who practice gratitude report feeling healthier and they have fewer physical complaints. Gratitude encourages individuals to engage in healthier behaviors and self care, which we know are really hard for some people. And this can lead to an improved health outcomes, obviously. So, these small habits that we start doing daily, stacked up one upon each other in a consistent fashion, can do nothing but help you become more healthy. And then, moreover, a thankful attitude is linked to better sleep quality, more regular exercise, and willingness to seek help for health concerns, all of which are essential for healing. And the 3 things I tell people that I need you to focus in on if you really want to get the ball rolling in your health is a whole food plant-based diet, regular movement of your body, at least 30 minutes a day, where you're getting your heart rate up, where it's a little hard to finish a sentence, and then really focusing in on restorative sleep, getting to bed, at a decent hour, which means before 11 p.m., preferably around 10 p.m., trying to get, 7 to 8 hours of very good sleep. And there's many factors in there that can help you do those things. Again, depending on the person, lots of individual factors at play, but at least knowing those are the 3 things, if you can focus in on those 3 things, a lot of the other things get better. All right, moving on. Number 3, this strengthens relationships, believe it or not. Gratitude helps in building and maintaining those strong relationships, which are so crucial for your emotional support during healing, right? So feeling appreciated can improve the quality of your relationships, including with your healthcare providers, which can lead to better care and support. So strong social support is really vital for emotional being and can be a buffer against stress and illness. So one thing that you might want to consider is with your significant other, your partner, family member, loved one, spouse, child, neighbor, colleague, it doesn't matter. Just expressing gratitude to them and how much you appreciate them. I think one goes a long way for your own well-being, but also promotes well-being in them. And there's going to be a beautiful ripple effect that you will never know about because they're going to take those feelings and share them with others in their life that you may never meet. So just know that there can be a kindness ripple that'll occur just by you sharing your gratitude. And then the other thing, number 4, is it reduces toxic emotions, right? So regularly practicing gratitude can reduce the frequency and duration of episodes of things like envy, resentment, frustration, shame, and regret. It helps in kind of shifting the focus from what is lacking or problematic to more of what's you can be appreciative for, especially appreciating the value of what's currently present in your life. This shift can reduce the stress that exacerbates, physical conditions and then which can impede your healing process. So thinking about gratitude will help negate those negative or toxic emotions. And then finally, it really promotes a positive feedback loop. I'm all about feedback loops and habits and how we can just keep manifesting these good things, right? So gratitude can create a positive feedback loop in the brain. So expressing gratitude and recognizing the good in your life can trigger the release of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. And all of these are associated with feelings of happiness and well-being. So this can kind of start this sustaining cycle where gratitude leads to positive emotions, which in turn makes it easier to feel grateful, which makes it easier to feel positive emotions. So some of you might remember the live that I did where I was just so tickled, astounded, and grateful for the Asian pear. This is my imaginary Asian pear. And how I was just transformed for days thinking about how grateful I was to find an Asian pear in a hotel breakfast buffet. And then I found it again on the 2 days later. And I was just amazed that I could be provided something that I find is a treat. And it just really made me happy. So I started telling people, start looking for your Asian pear. And I think there's one other story I'd like to share with you. And it goes back to the holidays and missing the people that, had great value in our lives. And this is about my grandmother, who I called Grams. She lived with my husband and I for 8 years. She left a very physically and verbal abusive relationship to come live with us before we even had our youngest, Gabe, who's 25 now. And so she was with me during medical school and residency. And during my third year of medical school, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was a very aggressive form of breast cancer. So she had to have chemotherapy, bilateral mastectomy, and radiation. And I'll never forget, one night, it was late because I'd get home late from school, trying to take care of 3 kids in medical school and a very sick grandmother. And her hair had been falling out. And she asked me to cut her hair. And I was like, she had this beautiful white, thick mane. And it was straight. And she goes, Lori, I need you to shave it because it's just falling out and the hair is getting everywhere. And we had wigs and everything, but it was really hard for me to shave her hair. But I knew that I needed to do that because that's what she needed. And I would do anything to make her feel better in this journey of fighting her cancer. And she goes, I'm so grateful for this because I just know that my hair is going to come back curly. And I've always wanted curly hair. And we were so giggling. I still remember this to this day in my kitchen, her sitting on this chair and me literally taking the thing and buzzing her bald. And, of course we had the mohawk first and then we did this and, teased her about how shiny it was and all that good stuff. She had such a good nature about her and was such an amazing support in my life. But anyway, I will kid you not. Her hair came back and it was curly. She had curly hair, guys, after her chemotherapy. Now, this might be a side effect. I don't know. Maybe it was. But I like to say this was because she had a grateful heart. And she literally manifested her curly hair, which she'd always desired. But it just required, of course, breast cancer, chemo, in order for it to happen. And so I think of those moments. I also think about anytime that I have tomatoes. I love tomatoes. Oh my goodness. And she loved tomatoes. She would cut these delicious tomatoes that she'd pull from her garden and slice them and put a little bit of salt on them and just devour them. So anytime I see a tomato, honestly, that's how I know salt is not healthy, but I just put a little bit on it. I will cut the tomato and just love it. And it means so much more to me outside of the lycopene and all the delicious things that I'm getting from the tomato. But it brings me back to my grandmother and how she loved tomatoes and how much of an important person she was in my life and how she told me I could be a doctor and that I would be a doctor. And going through medical school with 3 kids and taking care of her during her breast cancer. And then she eventually also had a stroke. Those were not easy times. And I was very blessed to have a husband who was very understanding and helpful as well, and other people who surrounded me and supported me during that time. But anyway, I just want to share that little bit of story, how even in the worst and most struggling times, either if you're watching someone suffer or someone is suffering, that a little bit of gratitude might just come back and provide your straight hair to be curly, or maybe it will provide something else that you're desiring in your life. But the mind-body connection is such a phenomenal thing that we don't understand. And I'm love talking about this stuff, as you guys know, because it just makes this life such more brighter and lovely. And on that note, I would like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. And I hope it's full of love and gratitude and sharing wonderful friendships and with family members. And, if you struggle with eating a whole food plant-based diet on Thanksgiving, that's okay. It doesn't negate all of the things that you've done in the past. So anyway, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And always, thank you for spending time with me, especially on this time where I'm sure there are family coming, but you are all wonderful. And again, I'm so thankful for you. Safe travels, everyone, please. And remember what the holiday is about. It's not about the struggles and the conflicts within the family. It's about loving one another with all of our faults, because trust me, we all have our warts, and being thankful that you have someone present in your life and enjoy them, because they won't always be here. And so may you have many, many, many beautiful memories starting tomorrow and this evening. So thanks again for being here. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.